guys, so I'm going to try to do this quick so I can fit it in 10 minutes. I'm going to probably talk about these movies, the best movies of the decade, for about 1 minute. So I'm going to start quickly going on to number 10. I'm going to give 2 honorable mentions that I really wanted to put in, but I just couldn't. The Dark Knight and No Country for Old Men, those were both really good movies. There's other honorable mentions I could give, but I think those are the 2 that I really wanted to be in my top 10, but just couldn't fit in. So, I'm going to start with number 10. Number 10 is $1 Million Baby. I thought this was just a great movie. The whole thing, you're just really entertained, and it's not entertained like you're like, whoa. It's entertained like you're feeling comfortable watching the movie. It's a really emotional movie. It's kind of split into, first, a great narrative about boxing, and just really a very well written story for the first half of that, and then goes into a very emotional, sad, heartbreaking movie with Hilary Swank, and just a very great Clint Eastwood movie. I love Clint Eastwood. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. Really great director right there. And the performances are just great from Hilary Swank, Morgan Freeman, and Clint Eastwood. They all give phenomenal performances. I love that movie. Now, number 9 is There Will Be Blood. Now, this was a movie that I was sucked into from the whole way through, just watching it like in awe. Daniel Day-Lewis is probably one of the best actors out there that ever lived. He's my favorite actor right now. He gives a phenomenal performance. I was seriously stunned by his work in it. Or the whole movie, the score, the other performances from like Paul Dano is just like you're at the edge of your seat, like when the score goes when something and a big intense scene happens. It really works. You're involved. I was involved from it. I thought it was the best movie of 2007. Just really check that one out. Number 8 is In America. Now, this was a very gripping movie, especially in the end, a very emotional movie. A very well-written, heartbreaking story about a family that's sticking together. That's a movie moving from Ireland all the way over to New York. And you really feel for this family. You want every time something doesn't really work, you really feel bad for them. You want everything stuff good to happen with them. And it's just I think it's a very feel-good movie. Even though a lot of people cried at the end, you'll most definitely cry in this movie. I do think it's a feel-good movie. Really, just go see it if you really want to see a movie about just a heartbreaking and heart-rising movie about a family that's sticking together. Very inspirational too. I just love that movie. It's great. Definitely check that one out. And number 7 is The Wrestler. Now, Mickey Rourke gives a phenomenal performance. He gets every single line he talks out or anybody else says is very realistic. That's exactly what anyone would say in any situation that they're in. Very well written. Everything that happened to those characters are like characters you knew for 2 hours. You really care for Mickey Rourke's character. Even if, you see he's a jerk, you see all the mistakes he makes in that movie, but you can still care for him. It's the second best movie of 2008. I just love that movie. Definitely check that one out. Marissa Tomei is also great in it. She's a great actress, but just great performances from everyone. Definitely see that movie. Number 6 is Gangs of New York. Now, I thought this was a very underrated movie. A lot of people say it's like the worst Martin Scorsese movie that he's made. I personally loved it. Martin Scorsese is my favorite director of all time. He really knows how to make a movie, and every single subject he makes, he does it perfectly, as well as this. This is a very long movie, like a lot of Martin Scorsese's movies, but I thought I was very entertained with it, and I thought he did a great job of exploring and telling all this stuff that happened in this movie. And Daniel Day-Lewis, again, is in it. He's just phenomenal. Like I said before, he's like one of the greatest actors ever. He's my favorite actor. He's just phenomenal in that too. After I saw it, I researched everything about it. That proves how interesting it is. I was really interested in what was happening. Leonardo DiCaprio and Cameron Diaz are also in it. A lot of other people are in it too. But definitely check that movie out if you're in for a good movie. Okay, number 5. Slumdog Millionaire. I thought that was the best movie of 2008. It's a very well put together movie. When everyone saw that movie, No one knew one person that was in it, but it was just very well made. The cinematography, the music, the just everything about it was very it was just a beautiful, great inspirational movie. And it is a feel-good movie. The only people who ever hated on it, you can go on Yahoo Movies and see the user reviews. There's always going to be a movie that someone didn't like. The only reason anybody didn't like this is because it didn't make me feel good. People, it was violent. But, screw them. This is a feel-good movie, no doubt about it. If people tell you it's depressing, it's just a very well made, very well done movie. I loved it. Best movie of 2008. On to number 4. The Aviator. Now this is another Martin Scorsese movie, and he again, like a lot of times he does, made a 3-hour movie, 170-minute movie, completely involving and entertaining. Even though when I started it, it was daylight, and when I ended it, it was completely night. And when I looked back, I was like, whoa, that was long. It didn't feel long at all. I wasn't bored once. I just loved every minute of it. Cate Blanchett gives a very fun performance. Leonardo DiCaprio gives every emotion possible throughout. You really feel like you've just experienced a lifetime when you finished it, a story of someone's lifetime. Very entertaining. Great editing. Just that editor that Martin Scorsese uses is just phenomenal at what she does. It's just a great movie. Definitely check that one out. Number 3 is Mystic River. This movie perfectly, and I mean perfectly, captured the spirit of around Boston, around like in Dorchester where it's at. The feel of that movie is just what you'd feel if you were around in Dorchester. Tim Robbins and Sean Penn, 2 of some of the best performances I have ever seen in a movie. Their performances were so down to earth, especially Tim Robbins. I think he did the best, but they both did phenomenal. The only one that didn't really fit the Boston spirit for me was Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know. He wasn't really. I don't think he had the same league of anyone else. But Marcia Gay Harden perfectly captured a woman that would be here in Dorchester, and just a really great movie. Oh my God, I love that. It's it's heartbreaking, just definitely really great. Number 2 is Monster. Charlize Theron gives probably the best performance of an actress I have ever seen. She perfectly captures, look at her in any other movie. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful actress. In Monster, you're just like, who was that? If you didn't know it was Charlize Theron, when you're watching it, you would never guess it was her. She just gives a performance, the female performance of all time. You actually care for her. She's a serial killer. She plays a serial killer in it. Eileen Wuornos killed 7 people, but you really feel for her. It's a very heartbreaking story with her. I just love that movie. That was a very powerful movie. To number 1. Number 1 is my favorite movie of all time also, The Departed. Wow, that movie is that movie is just so amazing. Martin Scorsese's best movie, he made the best movie of all time. He's my favorite director. My top 3 favorite movies are by Martin Scorsese. Casino, Goodfellas, and The Departed. Those are my top 3 favorite movies of all time. And this is his best. This is the best movie of all time. His editor can make anything entertaining. The way it's shot and edited, you really are so involved in it. And Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio also give great performances, very true life performances. Leonardo DiCaprio, he would have been nominated for Best Actor if studios weren't the sons of bitches that they are. My favorite movie of the decade, favorite movie of all time, but this was my favorite. Those are my top 10 favorite movies. 10, not 5. And we'll be making my top 10 worst movies of all time also. I'll probably be making 4 other videos, Precious, Edge of Darkness, From Paris with Love, and my top 10 worst movies of the decade. So see ya in those other 4 videos.